We're gonna go for a little ride here, guys. On the 200.
Let's go!
We got some fuel in this thing. I got 22 miles on it right now. It is cold, so I kind of broke it in a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and give this thing a test ride. So far, first impressions. Initially, my brakes did not work very well in the back, so my foot lever down here was not giving me a lot of brake in the back, but after, I think it just must have worn off or worn in the caliper, because now it works much better. And you do have to kind of stand on it to get it to skid, but it can skid, so you are getting enough braking power. Suspension's good. I like the clutch. It's a nice light clutch, but it engages fairly early as you let out. And yeah, this is a nice smooth ride. So we're on a pretty bumpy driveway right here. But this bike is pretty nice, I gotta say. I like the styling of it. Kind of that, what do they call this? Street Fighter kind of the thing, or Cafe Racer, however you want to put it. It's a nice looking bike. It's pretty cool. It doesn't have a lot of power, so this is a great first bike for somebody. It sits pretty low, so you can get your feet on the ground if you're a shorter person. And yeah, it's just comfortable to ride. So we're gonna just take it down here to the park real quick and just kind of feel it out. It feels good. It does feel nice. Like, corners are good. It feels really tight. So we'll just turn around here. Jump that pile of gravel. And like I said, it's cold, so we're gonna let it warm up a little bit before we actually start getting on it. Yeah, but it pulls pretty nicely. Let's go ahead and get up to the stop sign up here. There we are. I don't know if I told you guys about the warp thing that this thing does, but you can actually just warp yourself. If you don't want to be on a road, you can just warp yourself to the road you want to be on. Or here we are on the one I wanted to be on because it's way less bumpy. And like I said, I'm kind of breaking this thing in, so I didn't really want to go all out with this thing and redline it yet, but we're bringing it up about 7,000 RPMs to shift, and it redlines right at about 10,000 RPMs. So in 6th gear we are at about 5,000 RPMs, and we are going 45 miles an hour. So it's pretty good. 45 is pretty easy for this bike, no problem. 55, no problem. 65 is hard to get to. You can get up to about 60, and then it just takes a lot more like downhill, maybe a little wind at your back to get it up to 65, but it will go 65. I have proven that so far. So we're gonna go ahead and go. I'm just kind of getting a feel for it. I mean, the bike is super light. It's very, very nimble because it's just, there's not a lot to it. On the title, it says it weighs like 618 pounds, but there's no way this thing weighs that much. This thing might be 250 pounds, maybe. So it's really light and nimble, and it's very fun cornering, and you know, it's a fun bike to ride. But again, it's a first bike for somebody. You're not going to go out and ride with your buddies that are on 600s and 1200s they're not going to like you because they're going to be waiting for you all the time, and you're just not going to have much fun. But cruising around town, or if you got a buddy that's got something that's this size and you're just kind of putting around, they're a lot of fun. I think somebody could have, you know, even as a couple, you know, maybe you and your girlfriend or wife or whatever have the same bike and you just want to go out to lunch or hang out downtown or go shopping. What a fun way to get there. You know, these things are great. And what I'm just most impressed with how reliable they are. Every time I tried to start this thing, it started right up. Just, it's impressive. It really is. So for this kind of money that you're spending on this kind of bike, you're getting a lot for your dough there. So we're just kind of cruising around, getting a feel for the bike. So far, there's nothing I don't like. I didn't expect a lot, and it's delivering more than I expected. I really thought it was going to be slow. Like, we'll do a video comparing this one to my Hawk 250, and that thing is kind of gutless. I don't know. This thing has a little bit more power than that thing, it feels like, but it's probably just the way that it's geared. Not probably, it is just the way that it's geared. So this used to be an airport right here. That was the runway, and they ended up taking it out. But this was a guy that owns this property here, had a runway that went from there down to there, and he used to fly his little Cessna in here all the time. Back when I moved in here originally, he was still flying in and out, so kind of interesting, pretty cool. And then they sold all this land off, and now they're developing it. Good for them. Make some money. Put more people on the earth. That's all we need. More brain power. Yeah, this thing does really good. I'm really stoked with this thing. I am going to do a top speed test because I'm curious. So we're going to go do that next. Let's see here. Let's go look at the mountains here. What a view. What a view. You guys see this? I don't know. It's a GoPro that we're filming on, so you probably can't see it as well as I can, but these mountains are just awesome. Bye, mountains. We got to get this done before the sun goes down, so let's get moving. So these are actually pretty synced up right now, which is impressive because yesterday when I rode it, I was testing this to see if these were going to be about the same, and they were definitely not the same. This was about 2 miles an hour slower than this, but it looks like this thing's catching up. Oh, I have my turn signal on. You don't need that on the whole time we're riding. This is the thing about this little gauge that's down here. You really have to look down to see it, and I keep leaving my turn signal on because normally the blinkers are up here and you can kind of see when they're on. This one you have to look down to make sure to check the status of things, so to speak. And that was my skid mark from yesterday. Testing my rear brakes. So 0 to 60. Okay, here we are at our 0 to 60 stop sign. Here we go. Nobody's coming. Go. $50. 55. Okay, it was 59. That's about all she had. So it's about, what, 14 seconds to get to 60 miles an hour. That is not exactly fast. cop behind me. So let me give you my 2 cents on how this breaks down. I like having a more powerful bike because if you need to get out of the way, you can. With this bike, if you need to get out of the way, you might have to pull over, or you have to be really cautious about pulling out in front of people because you need a lot more time to get up to speed. So I like having a bigger bike because of that. But this is an awesome little commuter. Like, I have a little, 10-minute ride to work every day, and this thing is a great little option. I think this thing gets like 100 miles to the gallon or something ridiculous. Like, it gets a lot of miles to the gallon. So it's a great commuter. It's definitely a cool little bike just to get on, get to work, get to the grocery store, go downtown. Like I was saying, maybe you got a buddy that has one, or get one for your wife, and what a cool way to get around. Just kind of enjoy a day. Go see some sights, go explore some roads you haven't been down. It's a pretty cool option. Hopefully this audio sounds really good, and I might start doing more vlogging videos like this where we're just kind of talking about the ride as we're riding, talking about the bike as well. So this bike, again, super fun to ride. I'm very impressed with it. I normally don't do this, but I think what I'm going to do is show you guys the video that I already did when I kind of was taking a closer look at this bike towards the end of the last video I did. I just want to show you that again because this is a really cool looking bike, and it just depends, I guess, what kind of bikes you like. But for an Amazon cheapo, whatever you want to call this thing, cafe racer style, I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. So let's check it out. Thanks for watching. You'll see me in the next video.